Hey, Jarrod, happy weekend.
Happy weekend, everybody. I had yesterday off, too. It's a 3-day weekend.
How come?
Because they just give the kids a day off surprise once every season, and yesterday was the day.
Really? That's kind of cool. How many days notice do they give them? Like, hey, you got tomorrow off?
No, well, sometimes they tell them at 10 at night that they're going to get tomorrow off.
Oh, wow.
Last time, Thursday, they did it at 8 at night, which was actually, I think, better. Kids came into, I was on the main building duty, and like 300 kids were in the building. They had a dance. It was just crazy in there.
Oh, that's fun. Was it fun? Is it fun?
It's fun for them.
The kids, right? Yeah. Yeah.
My night got a little more action. I was like, oh, I'm just on duty. It'll be calm. And then it was a little crazy. So I have to ask you a question.
Okay.
So I was in the car with Brennan and Teddy, and we were listening to music. Like, I have this playlist on Spotify. I forget what it's called. It's called like Ultimate 80s Party, some Spotify playlist. Some playlist Spotify has made.
Okay.
And I like the songs. They're kind of upbeat, some 80s stuff.
Give me an example of one or two.
So that's what I have to ask you.
Okay.
Well, so I'll tell you some other ones. There's like Beat It was on it.
Okay.
Safety Dance,
okay,
which we always love.
Yep. I do like that song.
What?
I do like that song.
Yeah. And then
it's such a dumb song, but I don't know anybody that doesn't kind of get into it a little bit.
Yeah, remember we bought the greatest hits tape, and the rest of the album was awful.
I wish I still had it. I don't know how to access that music anymore. Apparently I need Spotify.
Yeah. So then Centerfold came on, which is a good song, right?
It's a great band, too. Yes. I'm not a huge fan of the song, but I like it, and I like the band. Yeah, go on and say what you're going to say, and then I'll add my little piece.
So Brennan's like, he says it's a banger, which was great. Like, that's a good
I've heard that word for a while. My nephew introduced me to that word probably, I don't know, I want to say 5, 6, 7 years ago, something like that, at a Christmas. He jokingly said that he had created a club banger on his phone, and he played it for me, and it was really funny. It was just him saying stupid things, and then he'd put a beat behind it, but he called it a banger, a club banger. And I said, what does that mean? And I guess it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's great. That's what it is, right? It's like a dance song you can dance to. You're bopping your head.
A lot of kids' lingo these days I don't like, but I can get behind banger. Yeah.
So then he asked, Dad, what's a centerfold?
Okay. Oh.
And then I have to describe.
Hold on 1 second. I'm sorry. Is that what's going on? You sure? You all right with that? Okay. Matt's with me today.
Okay.
Hey guys, it's me, Matt. That's him in the background. And he just said that he had to turn his Wi-Fi off. That's why your video has been skipping and stuff.
Oh yeah, your Wi-Fi. Yeah, you're like in and out and stuff.
He edits up here too. This really is kind of an editing studio at this point. It's a mailroom store, sure, but podcast production, and then there's some. He edits his videos for the kids he teaches.
Okay.
I don't know. It's weird.
So how much of this stuff that actually is not mailroom stuff makes money?
No, I don't think I made a single dollar today in actual revenue from the store, but we're getting some cool stuff done after hours. I'm drinking. I went and bought some tequila. We had a little bit of tequila, and then I'm talking to you. And how did we get off the topic of music though? Oh, because the internet went down. Yeah, because Matt the thing up.
Is it coming back up then? Because it's still a little choppy.
Really?
So Brennan, the Centerfold song comes on. Remember, we were talking about that?
Sure. I remember where we started this conversation.
And then Brennan says, what is a centerfold?
And he didn't know what it meant?
Yeah, so how would you describe that to your 12-year-old child?
When you buy a porno magazine,
it wasn't a porno magazine.
The feature girl has a spread, like a layout in the center where she shows her labia, she shows everything, and that's called a centerfold picture. A if you bought how would I describe a centerfold? When you bought a magazine in 1985, it wasn't always porn. Was it always porno? Like even those like Tiger Beat magazines and stuff had centerfolds. So
there was pin-up girls in centerfold. That's what he was singing about, I think.
Yeah.
But it was known most for Playboy, not porno.
Yeah.
But Playboy.
I was just trying to make it universal.
I see. I don't think would anyone have described Playboy as a porno mag? I think more like a nudie mag.
I bet there's millions of people that would describe it that way.
Yeah, but like anyone who really was a legitimate person.
So you're just discounting all the alt-right people, it sounds like?
Yeah, that
as not legitimate people?
No, not in that say. They're not judging that magazine correctly in its category.
Well, it's nice to know that you can speak so assuredly on the topic. You're right. You're right. They're wrong.
That's kind of a theme of today is categorical judgments.
Oh,
so,
that's fun.
So I think nudie mag. It's more of a nudie mag, but
why? Because there wasn't dicks going in pussies?
Yeah, I think that's more porno than
no BJs, no. Yeah. I'm fine with that definition. I'm just saying there are people that would call Playboy a porno. I'm with you, but
great. So we don't have to debate it. We don't need a debate.
Well, don't you have to play devil's advocate like Al Pacino?
Not always.
Play devil's advocate.
Is that what he said in the movie?
Every movie has that titular line.
Yeah.
I hope these Star Wars stop someday. Play devil's advocate.
So I just said to him, I was like, well, I said before the internet, people would get magazines with pictures of pretty girls, and one would fold out.
Is that really how you said it?
Yeah, and I was like, there'd be a big picture of a pretty girl, and he just couldn't. He was like, Dad, that's really weird. And to describe it with the world we live in now, it is like a weird that you would buy a magazine with pictures in it.
I don't know why. Why is that weird? Because it's so obviously objectifying the person?
No, that just like people don't even buy magazines anymore.
Oh.
Just that it would exist, that you would need to buy a thing with pictures in it to look at the pictures.
Yeah. Well, tell him I think it's weird that he beats off with a phone in his hand. And that's the only way he's ever known how to do it.
There you go.
It's all timing, Brennan. It's when you were born. My dad beat off to pictures of like probably
ankles.
Ankles, yeah. Or just a hot lyric from a song.
They'd show a picture of some girl's ankle.
And you're just hammering away at your wiener.
Yeah. It was actually a better time.
Ooh, because you got to use your imagination?
Yeah, I mean, stuff didn't like bore you. If it was just all secretive and then you saw like a little bit of leg and you just went crazy.
Yeah. I don't know if I feel like telling this story to the population as a whole.
I love that you're actually editing a story.
Should I not? Should I just say it? All right. Well, the first time I ever jerked off.
No, that might be a sign actually, because I don't think you've ever edited a story.
That I've grown. Well, I don't know. I felt weird telling this story, telling my mom the first time I beat off, because I know she's
probably the only other one you've edited is that one that only your sister knows that you won't tell her.
Oh yeah. Just that I off to. I went to basketball camp when I was in like 8th grade. And there was a girl. We had like male and female collegiate basketball players as our instructors, and one of them was a girl. And she was like, I was probably 12, and she must have been like, I guess 18 or 19 or 20 or something. And I loved her, but our future was never. She wasn't into me. And
do you remember her name?
Kelly Kapowski. No, I have no idea.
Nice. All right.
And I to her. The first time I ever remember doing it was at a house that my parents had we were living in Connecticut. I grew up in Connecticut, but they were down here in Florida. They had a house. I'm not far away from the first place I right now. I'm probably about 6 miles away from my first beat-off place. Are we talking too much about this? Probably, huh?
Emma, I'm doing my show.
Your daughter's in the room. Well, we cut this conversation off.
No.
Jag off is like an asshole.
Sure.
but you don't say. Is that different than? Is jag-off a variation of jerk-off, or are they two completely separate?
I thought jack-off.
Yeah, jack, jerk, and jag are all things that people say, but do they all mean the exact same thing? I feel like jag-off is not have to do with touching yourself.
Okay. I
could
don't know
be
the
wrong.
answer to that.
I don't know. Yeah.
So you could have just called him Jack.
If any of our listeners are, what's it called when you study the origin of things, languages?
What's the word that you...
I can't remember.
Jag-off says, a stupid, irritating, or contemptible person.
Yeah. But is that, like, is that from originally somebody said, like, that guy's a jack-off, and then it just became, like, you rolled the C and the K into a G sound, and it means, I don't know. Like, do you say, I went to jag off, I have to jag off to fall asleep at night?
According to Barbara Johnstone, professor of English and linguistics at Carnegie Mellon, the term has its roots in the northern British Isles, an area that supplied many immigrants to Pittsburgh.
Jag-off started in Pittsburgh. Wow, okay.
Yeah.
My dad will like that fact.
It is not seen as obscene among Pittsburghers and Chicagoans. It is not seen as obscene.
Yeah, I don't think it's an obscene word. I think it's like a more pleasant way of calling somebody an asshole.
It is derived from the verb to jag, meaning to prick or poke.
Yeah, that's definitely
Non-local fellow Americans often mishear jag-off as the much more offensive slang term jack-off.
Okay. Well, there you go. You've answered my question. Thank you. And etymology is the word I was trying to think of. You said linguistics, etymology, right? That's what, when you say the origin of a word, that's what I was going for.
Sure. So it's from Pittsburgh. It means jerk, stupid, or inept.
Yeah. When my parents are from Pittsburgh, we wrap that all, boop, little bow on it.
They used to call you their little jag-off all the time.
Little jaggy Mark. Hey, Mark, you little jag-off. Stop jacking
Light
off.
things
Stop
on fire again, you jag-off?
They would use all three variations when they scolded me, though. Hey, you stop jerking off, you jag-off. Jack?
What's the third variation?
That's just what they called me. That's just my nickname.
Oh, I
Jack
see.
off.
Yeah, so he just couldn't fathom that idea, so it was interesting. Thought that was an interesting story to share.
Yeah, it was interesting. I'll send him some porno mags. Yeah, give him some examples.
Okay. You have a bunch laying around?
Yeah. I wish I could go back and see what she looked like, why I was so into her.
Because she was a woman.
She was blonde. I remember she was blonde. She was blonde, and she was good at basketball,
tan.
and she was nice to me. You know, she laughed with me.
Yeah.
I don't think she laughed at me, but maybe she did. I don't know.
She laughed at
That's
me.
why I'm into degradation. I like girls that play basketball and put me down.
It would be great in life if you thought people were always laughing with you, even if they were laughing at you, because your life would just be better.
Speaking of life, introduce the show. Introduce the show, and I want to wish you a happy birthday. We're like 17 minutes in, and I just keep talking about touching my
Saturday afternoon in the mag room.
All around the world you can hear them. Hey, hey, hey. Talking about news and kind of funny stuff. Hey, hey, hey. Mag room. Mag room. The mag room. The mag room.
Happy birthday, Jared Sisk. It's May 18th, 2024, and it is your birthday.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Happy birthday. Did you do anything special?
Thank you. What most 49-year-olds do.
49 years old.
Brought my son to soccer practice, and then brought my boys to a haircut, and then had a sandwich for lunch. That's literally what I did so far. So,
you guys like going out to dinner or anything tonight?
I don't know. Michelle just set up a few choices of things, and I haven't looked at it yet. I was like, wow, it's all. She was like, oh, we could have some friends over and have dessert, or we could go with the family to a movie, or we could
have friends over and have
and
dessert. What about the meal? What about dinner? Why would you just have dessert with your people over?
Well, she's gonna make me dinner. She doesn't want. I mean, I don't think she's ready to make dinner for like a bunch of people.
Oh, just invite them over when you're like finished eating.
For Kate.
Your last couple of bites.
Yeah, I'll like have it out still. Like I'll
Yeah.
have
You guys
eaten
just
it.
wait 10 more minutes. I'll be done with this in a minute. Just a couple more meatballs here.
We're just finishing up. You can sit in there. You want a glass of water or anything? I got some water. Nothing else. No, I got crackers. You want some saltines while you're waiting?
It's your last year in your 40s. So does it feel?
I know.
Is there anything you have to accomplish before you're 50? Did you have any?
This
life
is really
goals
my
like that?
50th year, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Or does
That's
your
fucking
50th
old.
year?
I honestly thought I would be dead by the time I was 50. I think when I was a kid, I thought I would die before I was 50.
50-year-olds always looked old.
Yeah. Oh, I printed up a little list. You want to hear about some people who died when they were 49? Thought this might be fun for your 49th birthday.
Nothing like that to cheer me up. Thanks.
So these famous people didn't make it to 50. Vern Troyer died when he was 49.
No, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Dale Earnhardt. Remember, we lived in
Okay.
Charlotte when he died.
Yep.
Remember that funeral
Crashed.
took up that crazy... There was so much traffic that day because of his funeral. James Garfield, president. Davy Crockett.
He got shot.
Yeah,
So
Garfield
mostly
got shot.
most of them are tragic deaths.
Phil Hartman, yeah, Phil Hartman's wife murdered him.
Yep.
Bob Crane. That's kind of who you remind me of.
Who's Bob Crane?
Google him sometime. His lifestyle sort of mimics yours.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
I don't know. Just a lot of the things he was into. He's just kind of cool guy. Just normal, everyday interests.
Oh, I've heard about this guy, yeah. He got murdered.
Yeah, well, they don't really know how he died, I don't think. Right?
Yeah, he went off the deep end after he...
They think that guy that he worked with murdered him.
Yeah, he was found bludgeoned to death.
Yeah. You never want that to be in your obituary.
No, there's no natural bludgeoning to death.
No foul... He was bludgeoned to death, but no foul play was suspected.
He was born in Waterbury, Connecticut.
I think I knew that. There's a good movie about him. For all the people who don't know who Bob Crane was, he was the guy who played
Hogan's Heroes, right?
Yeah, and he was a pervert.
He was a pervert?
Yeah, that's why I was making fun of you when I said he reminds me of you. He was like a known...
He videotaped and photographed his own sexual escapades. You do that. He had been bludgeoned to death with a weapon that's never been identified, though investigators believe it to be a camera tripod.
Yeah. So who was he? What was the character on Hogan's Heroes? I can't remember. He was the main guy on Hogan's Heroes. Hogan, I guess.
Yeah, is it Hogan? I don't know what his name is.
Hulk.
What was his name? It doesn't say in here. He was the
I don't know why I
starring
think
role.
What did the
Why
German guy?
Why was it called Hogan's Heroes?
Hogan? Isn't that what the German guy would
Colonel Robert Hogan.
say? Okay.
Why didn't they just... Well, I love how they made the Germans just kind of slapstick in that movie. That seems like... Like, wouldn't they just kill Hogan after he did something? That would be the end.
But maybe there was a humanity to the Nazis that we don't know about.
Richard Dawson was also in Hogan's Heroes?
I don't remember him. Oh, the guy... What was he? The host of something?
Family Feud.
Yeah.
And then in Running Man.
I forgot he was in that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those guys died when they were 49.
That's great. Thanks for the feel-good story.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I've been saying it, I've realized I've just been doing stories, which maybe is better. I don't know.
Throw it in.
Stories.
Sisk stories.
We talked about a lot. Why don't you do it? That's better.
Sisk stories.
There you go. We talked a lot about art last week or 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
So they had this article about the Mona Lisa.
Ooh.
Do you know the Mona Lisa?
I've seen the Mona Lisa. Yeah.
Really?
I've heard of it. I fucked that.
What do
I
you
fucked your
remember
joke up. I'm
about the
sorry.
Mona Lisa?
I tried to go for I'm a cultured, traveled man
Yes.
instead of going with
So
the
you
joke.
went to see it. You're so dropping like, hey,
I was with my
humble
French
brag.
lady friend. I remember it was very well protected.
Sure.
Well, what was your question? I'm sorry.
Just tell me about what you think. I mean, you went to it, so what was your...
The museum itself is more interesting than the painting. I guess that makes sense, right?
Sure.
I wasn't, I don't know. I'm not that. I guess maybe famous art like that, in a way, is kind of like hearing Sweet Home Alabama every day for your life. You just, I'd rather see something new and different that I haven't seen before. I guess it was pretty cool to see the original in person, but I don't know. There was more interesting stuff. Like we broke an escalator at the BMW museum. That was better.
Yeah, I've heard it's really small, right? Because some art's cool because it's like this huge painting, and you're like, wow, that could take a while.
I guess
It has a great PR, public relations people, because, right, it's the one everybody knows. Like, you can pretty much say it to anyone.
Is that the most famous piece, probably, right?
I would think so.
Yeah. It's got the most intrigue behind it. Who was the Mona Lisa? Why is she smiling?
So this article was not
Gives a
about
shit.
either of those. It was about the background.
Okay.
Do you remember anything about the background of the Mona Lisa painting?
No. No, not without seeing it, I guess, which is the opposite of memory.
So if you were like a real art history student, like you said,
I didn't say I was a real art history student. I said I liked taking the class.
You would have liked looking at the background, because that's probably...
I just told you I don't like
part
the
of it.
painting.
So there's been a lot of debates about the background. I guess there's like a bridge in the background and like a
Golden Gate Bridge, probably. It's a famous
limestone rock formation.
Mm-hmm. I do remember the
So
limestone
there's been a
rock
lot
formation.
of debate. And
I was
so
always
this
wondering about that
geologist-
limestone rock formation behind her. I forgot. I remember asking the
just
security
amazed
guard, I'm like,
people
do you guys know
actually-
anything specific about the limestone rock formation behind her? Is that, what's a word? Deciduous? No, that has to do with trees, doesn't it? Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I just enjoyed that there was a debate about the background. That's how deep all this goes. So the woman thought it was in Lecco.
Is that where those wafers are made?
So you see part of the Ada River. I don't know. So there's just been a debate
Okay.
about it. Some people think it's some other town, but it's just amazing that
Is it,
I just thought
guess,
it like,
am I, let's see. Is it Italy or what? France? What town
Yes.
is Lecco? Italy?
northern Italy.
Okay.
Other people have thought it's Arezzo or Bobbio
Fabio?
in Italy. Yeah, which sound made up. And then the great thing at the end of the article, there's a video which I haven't watched, but it's titled, "Is There a Second Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci?" Which made me think we should paint a second one and say it's Da Vinci's second Mona Lisa that we own.
So you want to get into the art forgery business?
Sure.
I like it.
Well, it's not really forgery. Well, I guess it is, but we're not saying it's the original.
You're saying it's the
We're saying
original
it's-
second one.
Yeah, he painted a second one, and we were in our attic of our Italian grandmother, and we found it there.
So wait,
after
they
she
say
died.
that it exists, but nobody knows where it is? Is that what you said? They don't know if it exists?
I didn't watch the video. I didn't watch the video at all, so
Good
I know
reporting.
nothing about what the story says.
Let's make up the story.
Yes. It just says no. It's the whole story.
How did this become a Sisk story?
I don't know.
I wonder what the second one is. Hopefully it's the rock formation, the granite rock formation behind her. With her in the background
She's
and
actually
that in the
not.
foreground.
Yeah, she's standing really tiny in the background, and it's just the formation of the.
I always like the
it's
idea
from the
of,
other side.
That's my favorite thing that never really gets made is a movie. How about you redo a movie from the, like, name a movie. Name what's a movie you like.
Hamlet.
What? You don't like Hamlet? You're just saying that to make me look stupid because I can't name a
No,
secondary
I'm saying it
character.
because there actually is a
I
movie
know.
based on what you're going to say.
Guildenstern and Berg or whatever.
Parents
That's the
are
one.
dead, yeah.
That's the one that exists. Thanks for pointing it out and ruining my whole thing.
It didn't ruin it. That's a good one. Maybe they need to do
I don't
more.
want Shakespeare. I'm not highfalutin. I just wanted I want to do a remake of a sequel to Caddyshack from the point of view of Bishop Bickering or something.
You have to do a movie that has been super analyzed,
Yeah.
like Hamlet, and then because then you could be like meta. So I don't know what
Roadhouse?
that movie would be. Like, what's the movie most watched?
Roadhouse?
Con
Air?
Yes.
The most
people analyze
what's it
like
called? Citizen Kane.
like The Shining or something. You could do The
Shining,
Shining
yeah.
from one of the something that has like tons of stories about it. And
I like that idea though. I feel
Apocalypse
like that
Now,
should
we
be
do
done more
Apocalypse
often.
Now.
Instead of doing these dog shit remakes where they just put women in men's roles, do a remake that's like that, like an original idea. Take one of the characters, so you already have a little plot behind it, whatever. You don't have to be super smart and original. Take something that exists, but to put a spin on it.
How about Ghostbusters from the ghost point of view?
That's better than what well, I didn't even see the one that they came out with, but I bet that's a better idea.
They're just the ghost just trying to make it, gets out, it's trying to be free.
Yeah,
and
it didn't have any
hang out with
animosity towards
people.
the city.
And it just gets stuck in the thing
Yeah.
and wrongly accused. It's a wrongly accused story. So yeah, I like that idea. I think we could. I mean, that has not been done. Like, right? That's not been done a lot.
No, which one are we talking about? My idea?
Doing the movie from a different point of view.
Oh, right, yeah.
Of the original movie.
That was my original point.
Do you need? Yes, that's how I'm agreeing with you.
I know. I like.
Do we need someone's
We keep wrapping things up.
permission? I'm gonna be on that Fugitive podcast in a few weeks.
Oh.
The 1 arm minute.
How come he doesn't want me to come on with you? One-armed
I mean,
minute?
I could ask him. I didn't.
That's
I
funny.
never asked him.
Well, if he wants me, I'm
Yep,
available.
I get 3 minutes. I get 3 minutes of the movie.
Wait, what? It's The Fugitive, which is a movie I love. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just I don't know. Tell him I won't. I'll be firmly in the background, like the granite structure in Mona Lisa. I won't
Yeah.
jump all over him. I won't talk
You
about
won't push-
jerking
you
off.
won't push the
I won't talk about
envelope
Hitler. I
with,
won't
like-
talk about jerking off. I'll follow the rules of 1 minute of.
Does there have to be a list of things that you won't talk
Oh.
about?
I don't know. Do I need a rider to go on this?
Yes. They're like, Mark, you can't talk about this, or this.
I didn't realize I'd be signing paperwork for this. That's cool. I get it.
Yeah, he sent me the 3 minutes that I have to do. We're doing 3 episodes.
So what do
in
you
one
get?
night,
Oh,
the 3
well,
minutes.
just explain to people what you're talking about.
So my friend from Hotchkiss does a pod. He's done a few of them where they watch the movie again, but each episode is 1 minute of the movie.
But this one's 3 minutes, you said, right?
Well, it's 3 episodes. We'll record
Oh,
3
okay,
episodes.
okay. Well, it's kind of
So-
an interesting idea. I guess it's not his original idea because I've seen it before.
No, other people have done
I
it.
do-
But he's just done. He did Speed
Roadhouse.
and one other one. Roadhouse. Roadhouse was his first one. So he's done. I mean, each minute. Like you think those are like 100 minutes, right? So each one of them's like 100 episodes.
How did he present it to you? Like we're going to talk about that 1 minute of the movie for how long a period of time?
They're like 20-minute episodes.
Okay. Does he edit it? So is it 20 minutes or is it like 40 minutes edited down to 20?
He said the best ones are ones he doesn't have to edit. That you just talk and then.
It's not true.
He throws
Probably
music
not
on the
best
beginning
ones.
and the
It's
end.
just the best ones because it takes him the least amount of time to churn them out.
He doesn't like. I don't think he likes doing the editing.
He just likes
That's why
talking
we're-
about movies 1 minute at a time.
That's why we're lucky. I mean, that's where you could really make your hay. I think not
I'm surprised that nobody likes doing it. I think it's
not
fun.
in our podcast, but in editing other people's podcasts who don't want to do it.
All right. I didn't even know that those people. I thought that was part of the allure of doing it, but. All right.
No.
Well, tell him I'll do it for him. No, tell him I want to be on.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if that's audacious of me to say that, but.
The hard part is he publishes them but not for a while.
Does he do the whole movie before he publishes it?
No, because a bunch of the stuff is already published for this one, but the show's only up to like episode, I don't know, 30 or 40 published, and we're like minute 116 or something like that. So I can't listen to what he's done the episode before, so I have no idea. So I have to write down some ideas, but I may be like repeating what they've already talked about.
So in preparation for it, are you gonna what? Are you gonna watch the whole movie and then watch your portion a couple of times? Is that the plan?
Yeah, I'll write down some ideas. There's one scene where, like, so I got the scene where, you know, where he comes in and he goes, the drug is Provasic. Like he's in the ballroom.
But I've already forgotten what movie we're talking about.
Fugitive.
Oh, right.
The guy, he accuses the guy fakes the samples, and then they want to kill Richard Kimball because he figures it out, because the drug is very lucrative.
So you didn't get the minute that the guy's in the tunnel with the gun pointed at him?
No, I asked for this one. I like when he comes in.
Oh, you asked for a specific minute?
Yeah, he asked me early. Well, first he asked me if I wanted to co-host with him, which was like 100 and whatever episodes, and I was like, I can't. I thought about it.
What the fuck does this guy think he is?
Well, and then I asked him some details, and he's like, I already found someone else. I'm like, all right, that's great. And he's like, do you want to be on a couple episodes? I was like, yeah, that's fun.
Oh, so he does have a co-host.
Yes, this woman is his. I mean, you could listen to one of them now.
I feel like I did. Didn't he do one with his wife?
That was Speed, maybe?
Yeah. I thought she was kind of charming. I liked her voice.
Or Roadhouse? Maybe that was Roadhouse he did with his wife.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was Roadhouse. He likes doing it. I mean, he's always talking about the stuff.
Well, that there is definitely a passion project. That's
yeah.
I mean, how are you gonna? It's a hard draw, you know.
Sure.
So you're just doing it because you like it. What if he's just like that? Does he love analyzing shit? Is he autistic? Is there any chance he's got like Asperger's or something?
I don't think so.
No.
But no, he does. I mean, he's a computer science teacher in math.
That might make sense.
So
analytical.
Similar to
analytical. I don't mean to say mathematicians are autistic. I just meant people
that
are detail oriented.
I get it. We're awkward. It's awkward for this world that does not like details or order, that we try to bring order and details to things, and people don't respect that out of us. It's sad, really.
Maybe it's because you put out podcasts that are 160 episodes long and they're about a movie. I love a good revenge story, like a long play revenge story, like Count of Monte Cristo or something like that.
Sure.
I think those are fantastic. They make for good either books or movies.
Because you want to get back.
Yeah.
You want somebody to win.
Yeah. Have you ever read The Count of Monte Cristo? Once the goes down, you can't stop reading it. Like once the book gets to where it's going, it's unputdownable.
Sometimes the old books don't hold up for me. That one did. Mm-hmm. I liked it.
I guess they've made that into movies, right? I just can't think that I've ever seen a screen
There's
adaptation
one with
of
Leo
it.
DiCaprio, I think, right?
Does he have a fucking accent in it? I hate when people put accents on for movies. That's my biggest.
No, he had the most boring voice tone of all time. That's what they went with. There was no accent. People could not tell where he was from. That's what they billed it as.
You don't have to be an asshole. Just do you remember him in what was that movie where he stole diamonds? Blood Diamond.
Blood Diamond.
His accent in that movie made it unwatchable.
I like that movie too.
Just be a South African guy that has a North American accent. I'm sure one exists. You don't have to put on some garbage accent.
Can't they write into the story that he's just there and he was from America?
Hey, I came here from Brooklyn to South Africa to do my thing. One line, you got the whole thing.
Yeah, then you're done. You talk for the accent. It was same with Kevin Costner and Robin Hood. There you go. All right, I got the last one. So we've been pretty controversial in the last episode.
Oof, have we ever?
So I thought it was time to wade into like one of the most controversial subjects that we might go into.
Abortion.
So there was a judge ruling in Indiana which asked, are tacos and burritos sandwiches?
No. It's a hot dog sandwich.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So according to one judge in Fort Wayne, Indiana, the answer is yes.
How did this make it to a court?
So the place of the restaurant was zoned, and it prohibits fast food, but allows exceptions for restaurants whose primary business is sell made-to-order sandwiches.
Okay.
So the person was saying, my tacos and burritos are sandwiches, so I should be able to open my business in this shopping center.
If you have a decent lawyer, I think you win that case.
So the judge said yes.
Yeah. Yeah. They are, but they aren't, I guess, is the right answer.
In Massachusetts, the same thing was judged no. Qdoba wanted to rent in a shopping center, and
Was the other one
trying to say Qdoba wanted to say it was not a sandwich because Panera Bread said it was a sandwich because it didn't want it to open in the same
like
place.
competing?
Yeah. And then Qdoba said we're not a sandwich, and the judge in Massachusetts said, yes, you're not a sandwich. So I guess there's a rule called the cube rule of food. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
All right, so there's 6 scenarios. I'm going to give them to you, and you have to tell me what they would be called. So if you only have a piece of bread on the bottom of whatever, so this is the starch location, is on the bottom. There's other stuff on top, but the bread is on the bottom. What is that called?
Can I use the word sandwich? What can I say? Open-faced sandwich?
No. So like I'll give you number 2 is a piece of bread on the top and the bottom. That's a sandwich. That's what they're saying is a sandwich.
Do I know what a sandwich is?
I know. So I'm just, if you were trying to say this one was also a sandwich.
Well, I mean, like
no.
if you went online and looked up right now
just like
a hot
take off.
brown, it would tell you that
What
it's
is a
an
hot dog, like a 3-faced sandwich? This is a side-faced sandwich. This is a top-faced sandwich. Come on.
What's the word for it? Okay, go ahead. What's a what?
Toast. Like avocado toast, like something on the top. They call it toast.
Okay.
All right. How about with 3 sides?
Club sandwich.
So no, there's like a bottom and 2 on the side.
What?
There's a bottom piece of bread and bread on the sides of your dish.
Pita?
It's like a pita, but that's not what they call it.
Shawarma?
No. It's actually defined as a taco. So they're saying a hot dog is a taco. Because a hot dog has 3 sides of bread.
Okay.
Just like a taco. How about it has all sides all around, but is open in the middle? So it has like 4 sides around it, but you can see through it.
A tornado. What are the things that you get at like 7-Eleven are called tornadoes? Tornado?
Yeah, it's not a tornado.
Nope. Taquito.
Nope. It's a sushi. So sides all around in the middle. Sushi.
What is
so
it?
like
Where is this from? This is a legal.
It's called the cube rule of food.
CUBE cube.
Yep.
All
cube
right.
rule. All right. How about if you have only open on the top? You have all the sides all around and just open on the top.
Bread bowl sandwich.
Yep. You got that one. Great. Yep. Super salad with a bread bowl. And then the last one is totally covered. Like a burrito,
pocket.
but it's not a burrito.
A hot pocket. A calzone.
Yeah, that's great.
Stromboli.
Calzone. Great.
Wait.
Calzone. So a burrito is a calzone.
A burrito is a calzone.
Pizza is toast, according to this.
Why do we need legal definitions like this?
I don't know.
To make sure that Panera Bread doesn't have competition as the same plaza as they do?
I think they were just trying to define.
This is
all
why
this,
government
like,
sucks.
Pigs in a blanket is sushi. So if someone says, "Hey, you make some pigs in a blanket," just say they're having sushi.
Yeah, Matt Matt was here all day today. He's like, "What have you been talking?" I don't know. He said something about what you've been talking about lately. I'm like, "Well, last 3 episodes, I've leaned a little too much into Hitler. I think."
Yeah.
To the point where I've got a few text messages that were like, "All right, dude, enough." I got a little freaked out. I got a little weirded out by that one conversation. Like, all right, perfect.
The first one I think was a bit much.
I thought it was perfect.
We're not going to get any repeat listeners on that. Or maybe it's the one where we break free.
What if we got really big with like white supremacists? Would you?
Oh,
what
wow.
if we started making money from this podcast, but it's because white supremacists like us?
I couldn't lean
Enough
into
that you didn't have to teach anymore. You got to we were
But I have
making
to act that
$10,000 a
way.
month. You were making $10,000 a month. No, you don't have to act that way. They just want the show as it is, but for some reason they like you. White supremacists.
So, but do I have to go to like their conventions and stuff?
No. It's nothing to do with anything. You have the
And
exact same personality. Your kids are still good people.
And I know this fact. Like I know that's our number one demographic.
You're making $10,000 a
I'm-
month, but you see that it's like, we're huge in the white supremacist world. Would you
I
be?
think I would reflect on what we were doing, and then if I felt okay with it, I guess I'd be like, all right, well, I guess they need a show too.
First of all, I'm the only one that said stuff about anything. And I don't think I've said anything that should appeal to white supremacists, but maybe I have. You haven't.
But then what if they really like me for some reason, or they hate me? Maybe they hate me.
No.
They like you and they hate me.
Well, then you're okay. Then you should have no conscience
No, I'm
whatsoever.
not, because then I got this group that's known for doing like crazy stuff that doesn't like me.
Do you want me to put out a little edict right now, guys?
Then
Don't hurt Jarrod. If you
Then I have to start wearing a mask too. We'll do both do a mask.
Why not? Guys, if there are white supremacists
imagine that
out
was
there,
how you got
don't hurt
proved
Jarrod.
right with your whole Instagram thing, was that I end up with like stalkers because of my face on Instagram, and it's like Mark's like, I told you, man, you should have worn a mask.
Phil told me last week, he's like, I like that now that you put the mask on, you just say stupid. He's like, you think you're bulletproof because you put a mask on. I'm like, that's exactly right.
And your name's on the podcast.
I know.
It's not like it's...
Well, like I said, it's only... What do we have now?
It's because you're weird.
Well, yeah. I definitely have weird thoughts.
Should we wrap it up?
Sure.
All right. Produced by Bob Crane. Fact checked by Bill. Theme song by Mega Relox. Social media by
What was the name
Cousin
of that
Paul.
band?
Mega Relox. All right. Instagram. Send us an email. themagroom@hotmail.com. All right, well, put down your phone, talk to people. I've been talking about this a lot at school because the kids are crazy on their phones right now, and it's sort of driving me nuts. I feel like it's so bad. I hope I'm wrong.
So it's getting
but the
worse,
kids
not better? I thought it would do.
So Saturday night, they actually had the holiday, Thursday night, and they locked the room, so the kids had to come out and talk to each other. It was amazing. The kids just like hung out.
Yeah.
And they didn't really have their phones. It was
What do
great.
they do? Just talk?
They just speak to each other and hang out and interact.
It's so funny that that's like the bar that's set right now.
And they're happy and they get into stuff, and it's like messy. Kids are like talking to each other. It's inappropriate sometimes, but it's fine.
Yeah.
That's what kids should do, not like type stuff and I don't know, they're bullying. Who knows what they're doing?
Yeah. It reminds me of like when we were like freshman year, we'd hang out just in the main
in the
thing.
hall.
Yeah.
Just
Throw tennis balls at each other and stuff.
Yeah, or you'd get tired of it and you just leave. Like you didn't have to stay.
Yeah.
But all right, well then don't kill your wife either. If you're not gonna do the phone thing, just don't kill your wife. Stick with the mag room, and everything else is cream cheese. Bye, everybody.
Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good. The my groom's good. Ooh, ooh, I like my groom. I like my groom. Ooh, ooh, my groom is good. My groom is good.
Yes, you're not a sandwich.